I started writing on LinkedIn because it was booming as a journey on LinkedIn turned into a revenue source.
When you are posting on LinkedIn, no, there are different criteria that people measure their success in. What do you think is worth measuring for?
I basically grew from 0 to 10K in less than 4 months. I had founders and I had professionals from MNCs come in my DMs. I knew that there's a set structure that works on LinkedIn, like
What is the biggest challenge of running a startup?
the uncertainty of income.
Today on Creator IRL, we have Vaishnavi Vupalam, a marketing strategist, ghostwriter, and founder who have crafted over 500 posts and helped brands across industries build their presence online. From working at HCL and Growth Square to now building a self startup for influencers and creators. She is here to share about her real journey. So, Vaishnavi, first of all, thank you so much for joining me. You have already done so much marketing, entrepreneurship, content creation. I'm curious, how did this whole journey even start for you? Like, what was the behind the journey before it?
Okay, firstly, thank you so much for the introduction. That was lovely. And coming to where it all started, it started when I picked up an internship in marketing. So it was something that was very simple. I started writing blogs for my friend's website, and then I worked with a content marketing agency for their branding. And I figured out that this is my area of interest. So even because I was doing a degree which was English honors and वहाँ पे इतने options like they say traditionally नहीं होते हैं. So I think passion, opportunity, and because when money started coming along, I got into marketing. But now I've tried to build something out of it as well.
Okay, that's a great journey. So basically, when I was going through your profile, I came across that you have host written around 500 plus posts, and that's incredible. And also build brand across all kind of industries, right? So I have to ask, was there a specific moment where it clicked you that okay, I am so good in ghostwriting, I should do it?
Yeah, so when I started building my own profile, right, I basically grew from 0 to 10K in less than 4 months. And I think that was the time when people started reaching out to me via DMs. Like I had founders and I had professionals from MNCs come in my DMs and be like, hey, you know what, can you do the same thing for us? So it was not even something that was planted in my mind that this is monetizable. I thought I'll write for my own and maybe I'll just show up online. But what started as a journey on LinkedIn turned into a revenue source. So then I started personal branding. I got into freelancing and I also joined Growth Square and I worked under Unity and Vedika. They are like the top leaders in personal branding in India. So I think all of that exposure gave me more uh, horizon to expand and it began like that.
So great. Okay. So basically, before being a creator, you were a corporate employee, right? You worked with big names like HCL and Growth Square early on. So, do you think those experiences helped you become creator as well, like writing content and everything?
Yeah, definitely. So at HCL, it was more on the technical side, and I think I mostly learned how to communicate and involving with stakeholders. But growth plan was something that was totally a game changer for me. Like I was handling 10 clients, and there was this one time where I actually wrote for a very premium founder because they have a very big clientele. They work with Forbes and angel investors and like very big names in the industry. So there was this one time I wrote because that ghostwriter was not available, and this was for a very premium person. So I think that gave me more confidence, and I wrote for 9 more clients. I wrote around 250 posts, and I handled everything from communication to strategy. So because of the ownership that I got there, along with the mentorship, I learned everything about personal branding there.
Oh, wow, that's a great story and journey as well. So, you have helped, as you said, you have helped a lot of founders. You have the opportunity, you had the opportunity to work with big names, big founders as well. So, when you were working with them, like I think you have more than 25 clients now, right? So basically, you have written a lot of content for founders as well. So, what do you think is the biggest mistake right now people are making as a founder or as a content creator, especially on LinkedIn or any other platform that they want to grow?
Okay, so one is not building a digital presence on their specific platform. Like, I've seen a lot of founders taking platforms for granted, right? Like, if it's a B2B platform, then LinkedIn would be the best place to grow. But most of the times, but most of the times the profile would be unoptimized. The headline would be very mysterious. Their banner would be incomplete. So if like I scroll on your profile, it doesn't tell me what company you're founded, what is your core offering, and what is your niche. So I think one is unoptimized profile. Two is definitely the founders who put a lot of ChatGPT content, like that really kills the algorithm and authenticity. They don't even use keywords in their content that helps with the readability and retention. So that formatting is very bad. It's like just copy paste from ChatGPT. So that. Third, I would definitely say not talking a lot about their journey. Like they're very filtered when it comes to their story. They only share the superficial part of it that people already know, like about the business. So oversharing about business is also one more red flag that I see.
Sure, I can totally relate to it because I'm also in marketing right now. I'm handling a marketing of a company, right? So basically, what I say in my founder is to be authentic, share what his journey is, not the scripted one or very, because right now social media is all about being authentic, and that leads to my next question. That is, like, most of time when you are creating content for a lot of people in this journey, no, you somehow lost your own touch. Like, what do you sound like, what do you want to sound like, what your content should be. And if you are managing a business with creating content, this is a bit difficult, like juggling a lot of things at same time, right? Yeah, you lose your own voice and you have to juggle a lot of things, right? You have to, like, you have to create content, you have to publish content, you have to make sure your LinkedIn impression is not getting down or some other platform impression is not getting down. Then there are your your lead, then you have to work on that as well. So how do you make sure that your voice is something that you have to make sure that when I'm writing for myself, I have to write in my voice, not in some other founder's tone?
I think that's a very good question because it so happens that when you write for a lot of people, somewhere along the way you lose your authenticity because it gets very absorbed by all the other niches and founders. But I think there is no set formula for authenticity, right? Like I just write from my heart, and obviously this has come with a lot of failed posts and iterations and a lot of different pieces of content that I've A/B tested. So I know that there's a set structure that works on LinkedIn. Like, okay, I need to start with a good hook should either have stats, some curiosity inducing element, or maybe like some mysterious element that will pull people in. And then I rehook some points, maybe a framework for action, a takeaway, a CTA for conversion. Because I have the structure in my head, I try to pin every narrative to that structure and I make sure that it's conversational and has storytelling. So even if I'm writing about a simple story, I make sure that I'm writing like I'm talking to a friend. It's like I'm narrating, but in simple words, and it's very relatable. I try to add a little bit of drama, emotion, so that the other person is like, okay, कुछ trigger हुआ, उसने comment कर दिया. So I try tapping into the psychology as well of the readers.
That's great. Actually, you said something very useful because right now something is trending, that is chat GPT created content. That's why writer will lose their job. Okay. And I believe writer will never lose their job, but you have to write from your heart. It's not like you can copy paste, and you can use tools. I think tools are made. You are using Google for searching, no, that is also a tool. So blaming someone that they use chat GPT and something, that is a very smart way to write content. You just have to make sure that you have your touch in it. Okay, so I would love to answer one more question about this, like a technical one. Yeah, when you're starting out, no, you have a lot of confusion. What type of content should I promote? I think most of us didn't even figured out what we should do. We just want to post about our journey and everything. So when you started out, when you when you left your corporate job and when you started out, why do you picked up the LinkedIn only? It was there something that make you like, I have to go B2B, I have to go B2C. So how do you figured out that particular thing in your journey?
I'll be very honest. I started writing on LinkedIn because it was booming in 2023. I think after pandemic, a lot of people started writing online. And as a writer, I found it very fancy because I thought people had a misconception that LinkedIn is professional. But when I was scrolling on LinkedIn, I saw that people were posting, people were commenting, people were engaging. So I was like, okay, as a writer, I think this is a great platform. So what started out as an opportunity now led to a journey. So, like take chances and then express yourself. You never know what might come up. And then that's how even personal branding began and influencer marketing agency and a lot of things built up over time.
For sure. I think LinkedIn has evolved a lot from like in a decade. When I started out, I just started out like 3 months back only. I was posted by a lot of people that you should promote your content on LinkedIn, but I was like, okay, that is a very professional type of platform. But when I get into content of Justin Wells, then there is Gary, there is a lot of big names. They are very authentic. They have very motivational kind of content, very touchy, very human. So that's when I figured out, okay, LinkedIn is not only about being professional, it's all about being sharing your journey with the right people instead of just making reel about it. So yeah, that's a very good answer, but that was what I looking for. When you are posting on LinkedIn, no, there are different criteria that people measure their success in. Some measure their number of likes, some measures their number of comments, some measure the impressions on their post. What do you measure as a creator? Like, what do you think is worth measuring for?
So it's very easy to get caught up in the game of numbers because I think vanity metrics is the most obvious result. So if you're writing for a founder, they would judge the success by the numbers you've got in them, and the same goes for a business. And even because this is the nature of the industry, even when you write, you're like, I need to get a certain amount of likes or I need to get a certain number of comments. And it's not always in your hands. So I think over time, what I've realized is that the real impact is the one you make in your community, right? Like if people reach out to you saying that this post made my day, or this post is very relatable, like that emotional chord, and the impact in the community, like if someone benefited from your post or if someone learned something from your post, I think the end goal is to make a difference to your content. And also leads, I think it's very organic once you build your positioning, but I think the real core metric is when you're authentic and people connect with you as well.
I asked this question to a lot of creators, and they were all very real about the answer, and I loved it. That's what I loved about Creator IL. The journey of creator is very, very real, and they also said that likes and comment like matter sometime when you have to get a big brand or something. But what matters to me is the lead. Even two people are commenting on my post, and I'm getting the lead I want. That is what matters to me right now. So that leads to be my next question, that is very linked with this one, that right now being a creator is a major hype, right? Everyone wants to be a creator, and everyone have their different definition. So what do your definition is, like, being a creator, what does that word mean to you?
I think being a creator comes with a lot of responsibility because people also tend to view you as an influencer. So the way you express and the way you write content should also be a reflection of the ethics and morals you carry. So if another person is reading my content, they should either feel inspired or they should either take something with them. And it's definitely also to motivate people and show people, and also I think to make a difference on a community level rather than an individual level. Obviously, when you benefit and you also like extend that to the community.
So you are a creator, you are a personal branding expert, you are writing content, you are measuring a lot of success, a lot of things, and now you start a self startup as a company, you are a co-founder of that company. So do you want to share about that journey or share about what your company do?
Sure. So we are into influencer marketing. And talking about the space, it is pretty scattered. So what we're doing is we connect creators to brands. So let's just say a brand wants to run like a full-fledged campaign on LinkedIn. We source them creators, and most of the times, a lot of back and forth is saved because we also help them with content strategy and positioning. So we make sure that the campaign is executed end to end. And apart from this, we also deal with personal branding for founders. So these are the two verticals we operate.
Okay, so what is the biggest challenge of running a startup? You can say, like, very biggest challenge of running a startup.
The uncertainty of income.
Yeah. Yeah. Very,
And
very authentic
also,
also.
it's also that it takes a lot of your mental energy, and work-life balance is a myth when you're a founder. You're always running, even if there's something that you have to sort with respect to operations or legal entities or finances. You have to be up. It can be midnight, morning, or evening. It depends on the requirements. So work-life balance is still something that I'm juggling with. Like, I've not cracked it being a founder and uncertainty of income. And yeah, the mental bandwidth is crazy. Like, you need a lot of mental energy to run a startup, I feel.
For sure. I can totally understand like writing content, then managing leads, then managing a startup. That require a lot of energy. So for sure I can understand what you're feeling right now. Okay, so my next question will be what is your hobbies? Other than doing the startups and writing content, what do you enjoy doing in personal life?
I love meeting people. Like, I love traveling. I watch a lot of movies. I'm not into web series, but I watch movies. I travel. I meet people. I sing as well. So I
Great.
do a bunch of things apart from writing. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so in your journey, when you started out to being a creator, having a number of followers, having like starting a startup and everything, what do you think was the biggest mistake that make you feel like I don't want to do this? I don't want to move forward with writing content or maybe starting a company.
I think both aspects I have encountered situations. So one was when I wrote for a founder, but he was frustrated that he wasn't seeing results. So it took us at least 3 months to get like real results for him. So I think that was one phase where I really questioned my capability, and I was like, do do I have to still continue with him, or am I good enough? So that was one. Second, I think with the startup, because we're still in the nascent, or like the initials, yeah, like the initial stages, we are still working on deals that are mid-sized. Like, we haven't cracked like huge deals yet. So sometimes even the profit share or even the workload, it's not really something that you can measure. Like, you work a lot, but then you end up getting like less. So those were very few moments where I realized, okay, like, I'm putting a lot of energy, but it's taking time. So that whole phase was a little challenging.
Then how do you keep yourself motivated then, like when you feel everything is not working out, so how do you keep yourself motivated at that time?
I think I always remind myself of why I started. So for me, I have a long-term vision, and I know that maybe in terms of revenue impact and in terms of numbers, like the vanity metrics, right? There's a certain goal I want to hit. So, like they say, just keep going. Don't care about the results. So I think I use my past wins as a reflection. So this is something my brother taught me. So I think it's called the cookie jar method. So if you lose motivation and things are not working out, you basically remind yourself of your past wins, and you acknowledge your self for that, and you continue with the same spirit. So I also use that at times when I feel like I'm lost or stuck.
That's great. Okay, so let's wrap this up. I want to ask a last question to you. If someone is just starting out, okay, they haven't even figured out their platform yet, they haven't even figured out their goal or vanity metrics, whatever, they haven't figured out anything, what will be your advice to them?
One is pick a niche, because I think this is where most people go wrong. Second, pick a platform that you really want to build at a long-term scale. Three, follow 3 or 5 creators in your niche. Give yourself a time frame so that you absorb and you understand how the algorithm and platform works. And four is definitely, network with like-minded people. Five, uh, try to pick up a course or maybe write sample posts or record like a practice reel or something before you actually post out your first one. And never be afraid of failing. And it's okay if, even if people don't see your content, just do it for yourself and just be authentic.
Okay, that's a great advice. First of all, I would like to thank you for joining me. I had a great time talking to you. You are a true inspiration to a lot of Gen Zs and millennial generation as well,
Thank
because
you.
what you are doing
Likewise.
is, yeah, what you are doing take a lot of guts, take a lot of energy, take a lot of time. Just to be mentally prepared in certain things, in a lot of things, and juggle between them is something you have to, motivate yourself like every day. So thank you
Yeah.
so much for joining me on the podcast. I loved your journey and I look forward to have you on another podcast where your startup is booming and you get a lot of great leads.
Awesome.
So
Thank you so much. It was fun.
thank you so much.